we sway, with a beer in hand every day. From the tee to the hole, we're just trying to keep control. We're barely out of bounds, drinking and golfing around. A toast to the fairway we raise, for the love of the game and the haze. A swing and a miss, oh what a sight. We laugh it off with delight. With each swig from the can, we're the best at this plan. We're barely out of bounds, drinking and golfing around. A toast to the fairway we raise, for the love of the game and the haze. No matter the score, we're here for the fun, the sun, the laughs and the pun. So here's to good times and great friends we found in this game where we're barely out of bounds. So grab your clubs and enjoy your brew. We're here to make memories come true in the world of golf and beer. We're barely out of bounds. Cheers. We're barely out of bounds, drinking and golfing around. A toast to the fairway we raise, for the love of the game and the haze. For the love of the game and the haze. No matter the score, we're here for the fun, the sun, the laughs and the pun. So here's to good times and great friends we found in this game where we're barely out of bounds. So grab your clubs and enjoy your brew. We're here to make memories come true in the world of golf and beer. We're barely out of bounds. Cheers.
And welcome back to another episode of Barely Out of Bounds. It's your boy Rico Daddy Slick here.
How did your crew not get out there? They're playing golf!
On the green, we sway with a beer in hand every day. From the tee to the hole, we're just trying to keep control. We're barely out of bounds, drinking and golfing around. A toast to the fairway we raise, for the love of the game and the haze. For the love of the game and the haze.
I don't know about it this class. I don't know.
Welcome to the Beerly OB podcast. I am your host, Wipe That Smirk Off, and with me is my co-host, Jeff Maserati. Maserati, how you doing tonight?
It's good to be here, Wipe.
Very good. So, obviously, we're excited to have you guys here. I think you guys saw the. We'll be putting some digs on some, professional golfers again, but they deserve it. They just simply deserve all the hate they're getting right now.
You're 100% right. They 100% deserve it. Back when my father founded an unnamed automobile company, he always said, stay humble, son. You'll get to where you're going as long as you're driving one of the cars that we produce. They absolutely deserve it. I'm excited to talk golf tonight with Wipe, and we're gonna have a good time doing it.
Nice. Well, I'm excited. As always, if you're joining us on the podcast for the first time, you do have to drink while you're on the pod with us, and so I have to get drunk, right? We don't condone. We condone responsible drinking, Zach. We condone only responsible drinking.
You can be irresponsible if you want to.
No, we condone responsible drinking. So, obviously, as always, Wipe That Smirk Off drinks the Smirnoff. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're drinking tonight. It's 4th of July week. I should have done this a week later. I did this last week. I'm going to do it again just because we got that red, white, and blue going on, Zach. Nice. Bless you.
Sorry.
Bless you, son. So it is the Smirnoff Ice Zero Sugar. Zero sugar, red, white, and berry. So excited about it. Anyway, Zach.
I actually got a new beer this week. I'm excited about it. Really taking in the southern roots, the Georgia hometown feeling. And we're going to rock with a Lazy Magnolia Brewing Company Southern Pecan American Brown Ale.
Southern Pecan. Not pecans. No, they're not pecans. They're pecans.
Anyway, I haven't tried it yet. I'm excited to because I'm excited because here's the thing. What if this tastes like pecan pie?
Well, then taste it and tell us. I mean, that's the only way we can do it.
That is the only way to know. It is made with roasted pecans. So.
I mean, this tastes like one of those old like red, white, and blue popsicles.
That's pretty damn good, dude.
Yeah. I'm with you. Mine tastes like America. So, Zach, how have you been? Let's talk a little bit about how we're doing. Obviously, you're not quite gearing up for a tournament really soon, but you're gearing up for a tournament. And you're gearing up for the July 14th. July 14th.
Wrong.
July 21st.
Wrong.
It's one of the two. Which one?
July 22nd.
Oh.
It's a Tuesday.
Okay.
Tuesday.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. So you're doing it the day after I am.
Yes. I'm doing it the day after everyone I know.
Gotcha.
Because everyone else I know is playing at the Cartersville one.
Yeah.
Literally everybody else I know is playing.
I would have played in a different one, but the Cartersville one is the only one that lines up with my schedule.
That was the thing with me is we have, not to get too in the weeds, we have events every Monday of July, big ones.
Yeah, that you need to be there for.
That I need to be there for. Tommy was able to get the one off to go play Cartersville, but I was like, I'll just do a Tuesday, make it easier on everybody. So.
Sure. Yeah, mine. I had to do the Cartersville just because it was the 21st, and I will be gone. So I'm going to try to do the podcast with you guys that Tuesday on the 15th of the week of the 14th. I'm going to try and do the podcast the 15th. No guarantee. I'll be off in Frisco, Texas, doing my level 2 PGA seminar. So
That's fun.
yeah, it'll be. I want to get to Class A by the end of the year. That's my goal.
You'd be moving quickly.
Yeah, very fast. So I moved super slowly, going from level 1 to level 2.
I'm in the same boat right now.
As most people do. So
we're moving though.
Yep. So I'm excited about that. Excited to do that. In other news, real quick, just want to say congratulations because we didn't have the podcast last week. Congratulations to all those that made it through PGA Tour University to either the PGA Tour Americas or PGA Tour itself. Jake Peacock, one of the guys there at the club, he played for the USF Bulls, finished off with them last season. College season, and he ranks highly enough on the PGA Tour University charts to make it to get his card to play in the PGA Tour Americas. So
that's awesome.
Super excited for him. Excited for him doing that, and
that's awesome.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to lead off. So, do you know anybody that's made it? Obviously, this is the season where people are getting their cards and stuff. Do you know anybody that you want to shout out to? I know probably want to shout out to Sadie.
Yeah. One of my students, Sadie Bishop, she actually ended up winning a junior event this past weekend, which is really cool. Actually played very well, won by one shot. But that's big for her because she's getting into recruiting season for college golf. So and she wants to be really, really good, which is awesome. So she's working hard at it. Proud of her.
Nice. Yeah, she's a hard worker for sure. I remember back whenever we were coaching her back at Chicopee Woods.
And she just wants it bad. I mean, that's just the bottom line. You got to want it bad, and she does. So
that's good. Yeah, I see her always posting about golf. So yeah, I mean, she definitely has a love for the game, and that's what you want to foster in those kids. You know what I mean?
So Zane, we are both gearing up for Georgia Open qualifying. Where do you feel your game's at?
My game is pretty spotty, in all honesty. Obviously, I played good with you the other day. Could have been a little bit better, obviously. I think the putter's better. Putter's better. I've got the move I want in the swing. I'm just trying to iron it out, get the club face control a little bit better. But everything's flying pretty close to the target. I'll just have the occasional miss where it's like, what the hell happened there?
Yeah.
But no, it's feeling pretty good. I feel like I can go low. That's for sure.
That's good.
But anyway, what about you?
So we're in a weird spot where, and Zane, you watched me play. We went out and played together.
Yep.
I can birdie almost any hole, and I can bogey almost any hole. That's kind of where my game's at right now. When I'm striking it, I hit a lot of really, really high quality golf shots.
Yeah.
And then when I'm off, I hit a lot of really, really poor quality golf shots. But, we looked at our swing this week. I got a video coming out next week talking about the last lesson before Georgia Open qualifying. Last lesson I gave myself, which I did yesterday. I'm going to put some playing along with it. But working on some stuff that I saw in the swing. And I think most of it's ironed out. The one thing that I was working on hardcore today was applying the swing changes we've made with the irons into the driver. And the problem with the driver is, and I think I'm going to have to adjust the loft on it because I think I'm hitting it just a little too high. But because my swing has changed recently, the attack angle is more up, so it's got to even it out a little bit more. But with the driver, the problem is if it's a push fade. Now it's not a horrible push fade; it's just a push fade. It starts about 10 yards right of the target and ends about 20 yards right of where my target line is. Now, that can be frustrating with someone that is absolutely feeling like they're dialed with their irons, where I just point and shoot right now with the irons and the wedges. Feels
Mhm.
really, really good. Zane can tell you he saw me with my irons and wedges. It's pretty solid.
Yeah, the
Most of the
wedges were really solid.
Wedges are dialed right now.
Wedges were really good.
The irons, I ironed them out yesterday, and they're getting to the same point that my wedges are at. They're never going to be as good, but they're getting there. And then the driver, it's really, I just got to keep myself. It's not even necessarily hitting fairways. It's just keeping myself out of bad trouble.
Mm-hmm.
So I was working late today. And Zane can tell you I was rushing to get home to make the podcast. I was working today on trying to find a fairway finder shot with my driver, something that wouldn't be a push fade, because the push fade, sometimes it fades too much. Now, on most holes, it can be fine, especially if you have a lot of left to right holes. You can hit it fine. You can hit a push fade, and it's fine. But if you have a hole that works right to left, a push fade's not going to do anything for you.
Facts.
So I was trying to figure that out, and what I figured out was if I set up, and this is going to seem very obvious to coaches out there, if I set up to my driver like I'm hitting a 3-wood, I tee it a little lower and add a little more shoulder tilt, I can hit a really tight draw. Just really tight draw every single time. It's like a 5-yard draw, and it just, which it might, I have to double, obviously you make a swing change day of and it works perfectly. I'm going to have to double check it over the next few days. But if that stays the same, that might just be my tee shot play because it doesn't go offline. And I would rather sacrifice the 10 yards I'm probably missing with that shot and hit it down the middle every single time, know where it's going every single time, than worry about those 10 extra yards that, don't matter if you're not hitting them where you need to hit them. So,
sure.
All in all, game feels really good. I did a putter fitting with Zane. I was struggling. I played in the PGA Senior Junior at University of Georgia golf course. Putted horribly. Went to Zane, found out I had the absolute worst putter I could have for me, which is an interesting thing to find out.
It was bad. It was not a good fit.
It was not a good fit.
Can confirm.
So Zane adjusted my current putter. And then I have a putter I'm going to have him adjust. That's going to end up being my putter for the Georgia Open. But results are pretty good so far with the changes that we've made. So, and the short game feels and is behaving incredibly. Yeah. So I feel very, very. I feel solid. I don't think if I miss it, if I don't make the Georgia Open, I'm going to be really upset and disappointed because I feel like my game's at a really good place right now. But if I miss it, it's going to be because I don't stay in my lane and I'm playing too aggressively.
All right. We are 18 minutes in and we haven't talked a lick of golf.
To be fair, it was 5 minutes before we even started. It was 6 minutes before we even started. So.
Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to talk about, obviously, like we do on the podcast all the time, we're going to talk about the world of golf. We're going to start with kind of the older news. This is before the Potgeier win. This is before the win in Dallas by Patrick Reed. This is before the U.S. Open, the senior U.S. Open win by Padraig Harrington. We're going to go over kind of what we were going to talk about this past week. Obviously, we weren't able to get on. Very sorry about that for those of you that were wanting to join us. But, sometimes things don't work out. So this was the title of the video, so we don't want to bury the lead. And this is something we've been covering for a long time, Zach. We've been covering this for a while in that these pros, they're just a bunch of ninnies. They're just a bunch of ninnies. There's no other way to describe it. They are just a bunch of ninnies. And so I'm just going to go ahead and play this right off the bat. Let's go ahead and let's listen. This is golf.com tweeted out. Colin Morikawaaaaaa had a tense exchange with a reporter at today's press conference over reports about his most recent caddy switch. So for those of you that aren't aware, let's go ahead and tell you guys what happened. So let's go add the screen there. For those of you that aren't aware, what happened is Colin Morikawaaaaaa fired his caddy of like 4 weeks or 2 months, was it? And seemingly because on the range he was like he was yucking it up with like Scotty Scheffler and his caddy. So that's like obviously that's all speculation.
Yeah.
We are not trying to insert any kind of like we are not trying to speculate
But
as to like
it is
pettiness.
It is an odd switch considering Colin Morikawaaaa was actually playing pretty good golf at the time.
Correct. Colin Morikawaaaa was playing good golf. We both agree.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and take a look and listen to his words on the caddy switch.
You know who's going to caddy for you at the British Open?
I don't, and you know, I read your article that you wrote. Look, I'm not here to tell people how to do their jobs, but I don't get why you would make me sound bad because you put out my quote that I was playing with Pro-Am partners out front. Those guys are paying a lot of money. They're very important to the community. They're very important to the Rocket Classic. And for you to put out a quote like that, to put me down and saying, hey, wait 2.5 hours. I mean, you called me up on the first tee, you know? So I'm not going to tell you how to do your job. You can write whatever you want. This is America. But don't put me down like that because it's 2.5 hours, Adam.
I thought I was actually giving you credit that you were focused on your Pro-Am partners.
Okay, we can all read it very differently. That's not how I read it. I don't know how, but I'm just telling you, like, I think there's a perspective where people can read it like that. So I'm just going to leave it at that. We knew I was going to have media in 2.5 hours. I'm on the first tee meeting my Pro-Am partners as they're teeing off. So on the caddy front, I don't. It's a process that I'm going through. Hopefully we'll find out when the time comes, and I will let everyone know.
I had so funny enough, right? I actually had I had an inkling that this man was a diva. Like I had an inkling. I'll tell you exactly when I got that kind of suspicion is whenever I saw him with the Adidas people, because he's with TaylorMade and Adidas, and they were showing him like this was in
Full swing?
first full swing, first full swing season, and you saw Colin Morikawaaaa with the Adidas people, and you know obviously this was post British Open win, you know, so he'd won obviously that he won the PGA. And I just remember thinking, like, you could see him sitting with those guys. And rather than, like, being jovial, being like, yeah, let's do that, the dude was seriously, like...
He was, like, shitting on the clothes that they were bringing up.
Shitting on the clothes that they were bringing him. And on top of that, so damn picky as to what they put on him.
Yeah.
And it was mind-blowing.
Like, it was crazy. Because he's like, they were going through like slideshows. They were like, what do you think of this, Colin? He goes, oh, that looks terrible. I'm not going to wear that.
Yeah.
It was like, whoa, okay.
Yeah, he's just a diva. And so this is the thing I'm trying to like put out there into the ether is everybody can change. I believe that. I'm certainly not saying that Colin Morikawaaaa is beyond like becoming, yeah. But I am saying that there needs to be some kind of reckoning with this kind of behavior.
Well, the crazy thing is, like talking about this specific article and this specific quote, all the guy put in was that, hey, I'm focused on playing with my, I'm playing my Pro-Am. I have media in 2.5 hours. I can answer all your questions there. That's that's what the quote was.
Yes.
And like you read it in the article, and it doesn't come off as like he didn't take his time out of his day to talk to me. It didn't come off like that at all.
No, it didn't.
That is like Colin Morikawaaaa is like that reaction was so crazy to me because I was like, wow, it must have been a pretty serious like thing for him to come out and berate the guy in a press conference. But honestly, what I think it is, I'm not sure if this was intentional or not. But I think he's trying to like get inside the media's head and be like, yeah, just don't ask me questions because I'm going to call you out in a press conference and shit on you.
Yeah.
And I have more fans than you do. So they're going to believe me more than they're going to believe you.
I think that's about right, which is a bummer. Like it's one of those things where it's like This is a pure diva move. This is a pure diva move. I don't remember Tiger ever doing this. I don't, and you know, everybody called Tiger a diva back in the day. I don't remember Tiger ever doing this. I don't remember Phil ever doing this. I don't remember any of them ever doing this. And now it seems like it's every week we get something like this. Rory, him.
Mostly those two.
Mostly those two, but you see it with Wyndham Clark as well.
Well, Wyndham Clark's just got like roid rage or something. I'm not sure if he's doing steroids, but he's like...
He might be doing...
Although I saw... we got to call out a couple other people. I got to call out one guy from LIV and one guy from the PGA Tour.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to call out Brooks Koepka.
Okay.
Smacking a tee box with his driver. Not cool.
Yeah.
He ended up withdrawing, I believe, from that event.
Mm-hmm.
And then Stefan Jaeger going full hammer bros on the tee box.
Yeah, that was nuts. That was really nuts.
Just hard slams with the driver. Like hard. I get that you could be frustrated on a golf course. Trust me. I understand that more than most people. But it's really not.
What? You? No.
Hey, don't talk. Don't talk.
I'm pretty calm on the golf course nowadays. Very calm on the golf course nowadays, comparatively. I mean,
comparatively, like, yeah, okay.
I'm very calm.
So am I. Comparatively.
I'm very calm on a golf course. I will cuss. That is me. But whenever it comes to slamming stuff, I don't typically slam shit. I just don't find it good for you mentally. I don't find it helps me for sure.
Yeah.
Doesn't help me. So anyway, that's kind of the whole deal with that. I just think it's a shame. I think it's a shame that we're there. I think it's a shame that we're there in the golf world now where this is acceptable behavior and this is acceptable. And you'll see in the comments, it's very split.
Yeah.
It's very split. You got people bashing them. You got people backing them. It is really half and half.
Yeah.
In the comments. So that's something to consider. Now, I do want to go over this real quick. This is something that happened. I wanted to share it with you guys. This was post the victory by Aldrich Potgieter, by the way. Let's go ahead and clap for Aldrich Potgieter.
Yeah, congratulations.
Really good job. He obviously, I got to meet him down at Golf Club of Georgia.
God, he can pound the ball, can't he?
Dude, he destroys it. It's amazing.
I'm surprised the cover stays on after he hits that thing.
I'm amazed people let him hit on their ranges, like, because they're not that long. They're not long enough for him. I mean, he literally just smokes it like it's like carrying 330. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's just unreal. Anyway, so you got sounding off. Golf Channel's Eamon Lynch, this guy is just, I hate him. Obviously, Patrick Reed won in Dallas. We'll go over that here in a second. But Golf Channel's Eamon Lynch says the prospect of Patrick Reed on the U.S. Ryder Cup team, quote, fires up the bots, end
That's
quote.
Their favorite talking point.
And added that it would bring, quote, toxicity to the team room. It doesn't get much more toxic than Team Reed. Let's go ahead and take a listen to what he's had to say.
The winner at the weekend that actually interested me most is the one that would fire up all the bots. Patrick Reed won the LIV event, his first win on the LIV Tour in Dallas, and it's immediately started this conversation about whether or not Patrick Reed ought to be on the Ryder Cup team, which as a European, I hope he is. Because it's almost
He's 7-3 in 3 career appearances.
Yeah, well, DJ played great in Ryder Cups 10 years ago as well, but he's not going to get a chance to do so this time around. And it's at a certain point, I think if you go back to the Glen Eagles Ryder Cup, that's when the American team decided to prize unity over everything else. And that really became emphasized after Patrick Reed's contretemps in Paris with Jim Furyk after the 2018 Ryder Cup. So the idea, if you're Keegan Bradley and you have a deep bench on your team, the idea of introducing toxicity into the team room makes no sense whatsoever. And it doesn't get much more toxic than Team Reed in golf. The idea of introducing that into a team room when you don't need it just seems to me so outlandish. But I do hope as a European that it happens.
Let's stop him right there. He buries himself even more, but let's stop him right there. Zach, who was on the team that was so damn good with like the DJ obviously leading the pack and like Bryson being on the team and Koepka being on the team? Who else was on that team?
Patrick Reed.
Oh my gosh, it's so wild.
You know what's crazy too? I can't even believe he would say what he's saying. Because if you look at Patrick Reed, like if you want to put him in the same field as the guys on the PGA, look at him in the majors. Okay?
Yes.
Look at him in the majors. What does this guy do more than anybody? He birdies. He makes birdies and eagles like it's nobody's business. And you know what?
The name Captain America.
Yeah, dude.
He got the name from his Ryder Cup performance.
Exactly.
It's not a name he was given because he was playing on the tour. Yeah. It's a name he was given because of his Ryder Cup performance.
Also, he stared down Rory and whooped his ass.
Yeah.
In the Ryder Cup.
Put him over his lap and beat him like a drum, dude. Dude.
Like so here's the thing is like this is a guy who plays golf like match play is all he's playing.
Yes.
He's always super aggressive. He's a great putter. And if you look at him in the majors, he's got a better record in the majors than anyone else on LIV.
Yep.
This year.
That's exactly right. I mean, there's just nothing more you can say. Let's go ahead and listen to the rest of what Lynch has to say.
And that was one of the characteristics of Jim Furyk's President's Cup team last year, of which Keegan Bradley was a part that he noticed. The inclusive culture, trying to treat everything like a family, bringing in the caddies, bringing in the wives. I think that is certainly a point worth bearing. Keegan Bradley, though, to counter this, has said repeatedly, I want the 12 best Americans regardless
They never
of tour.
really...
Which is the right answer, by the way. Can we all admit that is the right answer? It reminds me.
So here's the thing. Oh, you want to be together? You want to be like the U.S. team has like doubled and tripled down on the boys club. And how did the boys club do at the last Ryder Cup? Zayd, did they do very well?
Not too good.
Oh, did they get smacked around? They get smacked around all over the golf course?
Yep.
Yeah, they did. They got smacked around everywhere because they brought the worst Justin Thomas that has ever existed in his professional career. They brought one of the worst Jordan Spieth that has existed in his entire career.
Yep.
And they
both of which didn't make the finals on tour. That's mind blowing.
Even worse, Justin Thomas didn't make the top 125.
Yeah, but you have this thing called the FedEx Cup, right? You have this thing called the FedEx Cup with FedEx Cup ranking points, right? Obviously, those players
are playing good right now.
Right now, which is what you want in the Ryder Cup. And instead of taking those players that are playing good right now, instead you decide to take these guys that didn't make the cut.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? That's the whole point of the FedEx Cup, is that those later tournaments matter so much more than the earlier ones. And so that's going to get you more FedEx Cup points.
Yeah.
I just don't get the whole. Zach Johnson really screwed the pooch. We have a better way now with this whole FedEx Cup thing, the playoffs, of being able to assess who's playing well.
Yes.
And you don't take advantage of that?
That's great.
Like the Ryder Cup points don't take it. Even if you look at the way Ryder Cup points are divvied up, those don't take into consideration who's playing well now, because they take into consideration things that happened in 2 years.
Yeah. Which is why Justin Thomas was even in the top 12 on that list, just because he won the PGA Championship like a year and a half pre.
But that's the whole point of having Ryder Cup. That's the whole point of having, like, the captain's picks.
Yeah.
The captain's picks are not supposed to be your buddies or locker room picks. That's what the vice captains are for. That's why they just picked Gary Woodland as a vice captain, is because you don't want to pick the people that are just there for the vibes. You're picking people who can perform under pressure now.
By the way, comparing Patrick Reed's play to Dustin Johnson's play of recent,
unreal.
He's crazy.
That's just bonkers.
Does he even watch golf?
Yeah.
Does he even watch golf? Dustin Johnson.
I don't think he
doesn't
does.
care anymore.
I don't think Brandel or Eamon actually watch golf anymore. They don't. They clearly don't. They're there to be the Stephen A's of this whole thing. Actually, worse than Stephen A. They're there to be the Skip Baylesses of the golf world, and it's not good for golf.
No.
I don't think that does anything for anybody. Obviously, it gives us something to talk about, but I would much rather just talk about like Pot Guider's win, or like I'd rather talk about Patrick Reed's win. I'd rather just show, but we can't fit all this. We can't fit all of this in 60 minutes.
Yeah. Do you think this is a little bit of him because he's European? This is a little bit of him trying to like reverse psychology Keegan Bradley into not picking Patrick Reed.
Maybe it is.
That's the only way this makes sense.
That's the only way this makes sense.
Because he's like, well, yeah, I mean, Dustin Johnson's got a good Ryder Cup record too. It's like,
so
yeah,
real quick,
Dustin Johnson hasn't made a cut to major in like 3 years.
Real quick, listen to what he says. I'm going to back it up just so we hear the end of what he says. Listen to Eamon Lynch's like response to this.
Regardless.
They never really mean that, though.
Of tour affiliation. Why not?
I mean, the 12 best that they're willing to tolerate is usually what it means.
But Patrick Reed, if you look statistically, he's now a top 30 player, according to Dave.
Willing to tolerate. Do you remember the Brooks versus Bryson thing? Do you remember that whole feud? What do you mean willing to tolerate?
God, you remember when we used to win Ryder Cups?
Oh my God! Yeah, tolerate winning. You mean?
Data golf. He's right in that category of a Harris English, a Matt McNeely, an Andrew Novak. All of the players who are probably
form that matters. I mean, Keegan was left out. Keegan said he was left out of the last team because he wasn't part of the boys' network. So clearly, form isn't the only thing.
First off, Keegan is
a big fan of passion.
First off,
no, he did not say that. He did not say that.
Keegan never made that claim.
No, that was everyone else because it was so blatantly fucking obvious.
That's right.
That Keegan Bradley should have been in instead of Justin Thomas or Jordan fucking Spieth.
Yeah, okay, we don't have to drop so many F-bombs. Please stop. But, like,
okay,
yes.
Yeah, you're right. My bad. But number one, Keegan never said that. And number two, if Keegan believes that, why would he do that to somebody else?
Exactly.
That's even more of a
reason for him to take Reed. Yeah. And again, you don't have to take Reed. This is my whole point. And this was the point with the whole Justin Thomas bit.
Yeah.
The whole point with the Justin Thomas, Jordan Spieth bit is there were so many other people you could have taken.
You had, like, Tony Finau was playing
He just said Harris English. Harris English was playing better than those two.
A bunch of guys were, dude. Like, both of those guys were playing horrible golf.
Yeah.
At the time.
Yeah.
Now, when I say horrible, obviously I mean horrible for tour. But, I mean, Justin Thomas actually did have a stretch there where he was actually playing bad golf. Like, legitimately,
really bad golf.
I don't know when he was playing his worst last year or 2 years ago. I don't know if when he was playing his worst, I don't know if he would have won a Georgia section.
He might not have.
He was dropping like 80s. And it's like playing horrible.
Yep. Yeah, just a real quick, I'm just going to share this tab really quick. So this was what we were talking about. I meant to show this earlier. So this was Nuclear Golf tweeted out just in Colin Morikawaaaaaa has split with caddy Joe Griner after less than 2 months of working together and duo, having made 5 of 5 cups per Adam Shipnuck.
No. Adam Shupak.
That's wrong. Yeah, that's a different dude. Sorry, Adam Shupak, you're not a snake. Colin
Alan Shipnuck and Adam Shupak.
Oh yeah, you're right. Colin will have a former college teammate, KK Lim Hassett, on the bag. I guess that's how you say it. On the bag at the Rocket Classic. So yeah, that's what happened. I just wanted to share that with you guys. So we've got a little bit of news, a little bit of live news. So obviously with the live news, Patrick Reed is the big talking point of the whole thing. Zach, where do you put his odds at for making the team?
The Ryder Cup?
Ryder Cup team.
I would it's not as high as Bryson's. I'd probably give him a 12% chance.
12%?
Yeah.
Pretty good.
I think if he goes on a run of hot golf, like if he finishes top threes
Sure.
for the rest of the live year, I think that he's got that goes up to like 50.
Uh-huh.
But I don't think it ever goes above 50% because there's always in my mind there's always going to be the PGA Tour bias when it comes to the Ryder Cup.
Sure.
Whether or not that's warranted or not, you guys can discuss amongst yourselves. But that's kind of where I'm at on it. Where for the Europeans is Rahm on the list for the Europeans right now?
Well, I was actually just checking that out. So for the Europe team rankings, obviously they have more captains picks than we do.
Mm-hmm.
So they have way more captains picks than we do. If we look at their picks, Rory McIlroy obviously has already qualified, having 3,100 points, over 3,100 points. And, obviously he was going to do that with his play this
I'm
year.
interested in Rahm and Hatton.
Tommy Fleetwood's in second. Hatton's in third.
That makes sense. Okay. He's played better at the majors than Rahm.
So then you've got the other three automatics right now, and it's very close. This is extremely close. Robert McIntyre. Here, let me share this.
He's playing well lately.
Robert McIntyre, he's playing really well. I think
Yeah.
you pick him even if he doesn't get in.
I agree.
Shane Lowry.
If his form continues, yes.
No. If you pick him, you pick him. Obviously, form continuing is a thing.
Yeah.
You pick him. Shane Lowry.
Also playing very well.
Sepp Straka.
He's also playing extremely well.
Exactly. This is going to be a hard European team to beat. Then you've got Rasmus Højgaard, another very good player.
Yeah.
Ludwig Åberg.
He has not played that well this year, though.
Correct.
Åberg hasn't.
Correct.
Since the Masters, he hasn't played well.
Correct. But Justin Rose is there.
Yeah.
Victor Hovland, Thomas Dietrich, Matt Wallace, and then Nicholas Norgard. It really kind of drops off there from the Matt Wallace and Nicholas Norgard.
Okay,
area.
so John Rahm's way at the bottom.
From Dietrich, he'd have to be a captain's pick, I think, to make it.
Or
right now,
top 5 at a major.
Listen,
I think if he gets
no, because even then, he's only got 544 Ryder Cup points. Right now, the cutoff line is at 1146. I don't think even he'd have to maybe win a major, and then, the only major left is the British Open.
I don't think he's going to win the British.
No, but that's the thing is I don't think even winning the British Open, he jumps all the way up.
I don't think you understand how many points you get for winning a major.
I do, and I don't think he'd jump up from 500 to...
How many points do you get for winning a major for European Ryder Cup?
All I know is Sepp Straka and them are still going to be playing PGA Tour events, and so they're going to obviously gain more Ryder Cup points. So it's not like it's not like 1,200 is the number he has to hit above that. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, I understand.
He has to hit above that. So he's going to have to be a captain's pick, I think. He will have to be a captain's pick. And honestly, I don't see why you wouldn't pick him. Right? There's 12 guys on the team. Right?
Is it still? Well, I'm going to check something real quick because it was true a week ago.
Okay.
What
was true a week ago?
He has not finished outside the top 10 in a Liverpool this year.
No, but this week he finished 11th.
Did he really?
Yep.
Wow.
Live Dallas, he finished 11th. So that's the thing is he's got to continue he has to on Live. He has to perform as such to where he's like top 3ing it. Honestly.
Yeah. He's got to be playing.
Not even top 10. I don't think top 10 is going to cut it. I think he's got to do that, and he's got to play really well at the British to get picked. He's got to be top 10 British. I think that's
one over on the final.
I think that's a must. I think being top 10 British is a must to get picked.
I agree. I think he's got to be top 10 at the British Open. Although he did play well at the U.S. Open.
Okay.
So I'm just thinking in terms of you're playing in America this year at Bethpage as a U.S. Open course.
Okay.
Maybe that's a reason to pick him as a captain's pick. I don't know.
Well, but look at Aaron Rai. Aaron Rai's right there, and he's good enough to be on the team.
I agree. I think that Europe might have a better team than us this year.
They might, especially if we don't pick. Like, I think you got to pick Reed.
I think you got to, but
If
there's a good chance that doesn't
well,
happen. So.
let's go ahead real quick because it's part of the segment. Let's go to U.S. team rankings. Obviously, Scotty Scheffler. Whoa! Everybody look at that.
He's got a couple points.
He's got a couple points. That's just let's go back real quick just to show you guys real fast. Difference between Europe, their lead guy, and our lead guy.
Yeah.
That's amazing, dog. That is so wild.
I will say I think their top 5 is better than our top 5.
Yeah.
Even including Scotty Scheffler.
Really? You think so?
Yeah.
Really?
Xander Schauffele has played well, but he hasn't played great.
They're top 5, really. Fleetwood they are playing well right now. Absolutely.
Yeah, they're playing better than our top 5 are right now.
Yeah, but you got Xander. JJ made it, dude. That'll be sick.
Winning a major does so much for points. Like
it does.
It does a ton.
It does. Well, because look at this.
Bryson, yeah.
Yep. It does.
It's got to be like 10,000 points for majors.
Yeah, and see, this is the thing, and this is where I'm going to disagree with probably some people out there. Some people are big into like, oh, you should just take the next 6 on the board. You know what I mean? I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's the case. Who are the
next 6?
I think
Morikawa.
No. It's not that. It's not the next 6 on here that I think that I'm drawing that principle.
I think if you take,
I think I'm not. Listen. I'm not taking that principle. That principle isn't because of those next 6.
Okay.
That principle is because this is taken from 2 years ago, right? This was mostly due to obviously his
U.S. Open win.
His obviously U.S. Open win, but it's also because he's been playing well in majors, right?
Well,
but
except for the U.S. Open this year.
Except for the U.S. Open this year, but he's been playing well in the majors.
Masters,
yeah, of course. So I think that plays a role, but obviously this comes from what?
Major, you know what I mean? U.S. Open win, yeah.
Yeah. So
it's got to be 10,000 if you win a major. That's got to be it. I don't know what else. Because Bryson has a win at a major and then like a top 10 at a major.
They can't be though, and they must calculate European points differently.
Maybe it's calculated differently.
It's got to be calculated differently.
Go back to U.S. team rankings. I think if you take Brian Harman to the Ryder Cup, I think you deserve to lose.
I agree with you. I think
he is not a match play player.
I like this guy. I like Harris English. I really do. I think he'd be good. I think Maverick McNeely be good. Keegan Bradley, I think he's a good pick. Ben Griffin, you know, I agree with you that he's got to be good. And I think Colin Morikawaaaaaa, the way he's playing, is a good pick.
He just get off his high horse and.
But like if this 6, I mean that's a solid 6 right there. Russell Henley's playing amazing golf.
It's solid. I don't think it's as good as Team Europe.
Well, we'll see, won't we?
I guess, yeah.
We'll see. But yeah, I'm
glad to see Wyndham Clark way down the list. That makes me happy.
We gotta take Reed though. I think over like a Brian Harman, at least right now, and that can change. Brian Harman won a British Open, like that could change, but I'm not seeing it. You know what I mean?
Even if this is gonna sound crazy. Because he's going to make it in automatically if he does this. But even if he wins the British Open this year, I wouldn't want him on my team at Bethpage.
I would.
No.
If he wins a major championship the year that he goes?
No, I wouldn't.
Absolutely. Are you kidding me?
No, because if he wins the British Open, it's going to be by like
dude,
he's going to shoot like 5 or 6 under.
And
everyone's going to go over par and it's gonna be fine.
That's not going to happen at a British Open, pal. That's not going to happen at a British.
It could.
That never happens at a British.
What did he shoot last time to win?
I don't know, but that never happens at a British.
Look.
Anyway, so I just disagree with you there. I just disagree with you. So let's go now. Let's in other live news real quick. Let's go ahead and hop on over here. Our boy, Live Golf Sam Horsfield has been DQ'd from the final 36-hole Open Championship qualifying after he walked off the course through 9 holes without notifying officials that he was WDing. The Majestic Star was 7 over. Why'd you shout? The Majestic GC Star was 7 over for 9 holes. So
that's tough.
Yeah, he just knew he probably he knew he wasn't going to make it.
Yeah.
So
I will say, that's a pretty bad start to a Open Championship qualifying. But I will say this. I don't know if I said this on the show yet. I know that his off season was supposed to be his off season. He works to improve his game going into the year.
Mm-hmm.
He was having to recover from injury instead of practicing.
Sure.
Which has hindered his performance both on LIV and in qualifying for other events like obviously the Open Championship. I believe he did U.S. Open qualifying as well. But
gotcha.
I know his game's not as sharp as he would like it to be right now. And he said so on a podcast. He's just like, I honestly didn't like. It was right before the season started. He's like, honestly, I'm just going to do my best. I know that I didn't have the time I needed to prepare for this year. So
sure.
But
so let's go.
Tough to see. It's not a great look either. Finish out the round.
Yeah, I at that level, I don't know. I don't know. Let's go ahead and share this tab. So this is Sergio Garcia has qualified for the Open Championship at Royal Portrush after gaining entry through the LIV points list. It will be Garcia's first appearance since the 2022 tournament. This is, I think this is good news for everybody. I'm not a big Sergio fan. However, he is he is a staple of Europe, and he's a staple of that tournament. So
I tell you what, Zane, I also was not a huge Sergio guy. Sergio,
you said was in that sentence. That's concerning.
Listen, Sergio's a funny guy. So I tell you what.
There's a lot of funny guys.
Listen, no, I tell you what. I watched the next LIV duels. This time it was on the Brian Bros channel, and it was the way you want this to be. It was a YouTube channel. It was a YouTube video, and it was great, and it was entertaining, and you got to know the players a bit more.
Okay.
They actually highlighted. There were conversations in carts, and they were talking about shots and stuff, and it was very, very, very entertaining.
Okay.
And one of the guys that shined in that video was Sergio Garcia. He is a funny. No, he's a very funny guy. He's a very likable guy, and he came off really, really well. So I'm really happy for Sergio Garcia. Sad that he wasn't able to defend at LIV Duels, or sad for him that he wasn't able to defend at LIV Duels. Although I'm going to call out a certain Wesley Bryan for cheating because he ended up his first partner was Dustin Johnson. He lost, and he upgraded to John Rahm.
Oh yeah.
So you had a suspended PGA Tour player and one of the top 5 players on the planet.
Fair.
Going up against everybody. And they just barely they went to a 3-hole playoff with Fat Perez and Henrik Stenson.
Net or gross?
Gross.
No way.
Yeah, baby.
Alternate? Best ball? Scramble? Wow. Dude, Henrik must have been playing out of his goddamn mind.
He was.
Go Henrik.
Henrik was playing crazy. I'm surprised he didn't win that event because he was freaking incredible.
That's awesome. Okay, so
it was a great video. I recommend everyone watch it. It's on the Brian Bros YouTube channel.
I am not going to.
Dude, that's okay. Love it. You would love it.
So real quick, let's go ahead and share this tab. Just to real quick end the show. We just want to go over obviously the winners this week. Audric Potgieter drains a clutch putt on the 5th playoff hole to claim his first PGA Tour title at the Rocket Classic.
PGA Tour victory.
Awesome. That's pretty cool. That's always pretty cool whenever people get their first win on tour.
That's how I'm gonna feel if I qualify for the Georgia Open.
Really?
That's exactly how I'm gonna feel.
Oh, I didn't feel like that. That's how I feel if I would win the Georgia Open.
That's how I'd feel if I qualified. I've tried 3 times and haven't qualified yet. So.
You've tried 3 times? I thought you only tried twice.
Never mind. I've only tried twice. I lied just now. I don't know why. I don't know why I lied just now. But I
don't know either. Why'd you lie? Are you insecure about your twice?
Yeah, I am actually.
All right.
Because
so
the crazy thing was last year, I if I wouldn't have started so horrible, I definitely would have qualified.
Yeah.
I was even par on the last 14 holes and shot 5 over.
Yikes. Can't do that.
And missed by 2 shots.
Yeah, can't do that.
That was tough.
I was 4 under on the front 9 and finished 1 under. That was wild. Anyway,
I found out one of the kids at the Georgia club was in that qualifying with you at Chattahoochee.
Yeah, great dude.
Was he playing with you?
Smith, right?
No.
His last name Smith?
Hunter Smith. Hunter Smith was different guy though. I'm thinking of a different guy.
Different guy.
He made an albatross on 16.
I didn't play with him then.
No, he made an albatross on 16. To get to like 3 under. And then I think he finished double bogey and missed
doubled the par 3?
He hit it in the water.
You can't hit it in the water?
Dude,
I honestly haven't hit it in the water there.
I haven't either.
Fun fact.
I think about it every time I step up that hole, but
I've made just like there's so much more room.
Yeah.
You know, back.
Yeah.
I'd so much rather be in
the green's so heavily sloped front to back.
Yeah, I'd rather be in the bunker long. I'd rather be in the long. Like I'd rather be long.
Yeah.
I'd rather be long than have a chip.
I think I've made a birdie and a par on that hole.
That's fair.
I don't think I've ever bogeyed it. I think I've parred it 3 times and bogeyed it once.
All right, one more winner. You ready? One more winner. Padraig Harrington has won the U.S. Open. U.S. Senior Open. This is a lot less dramatic, though. Ready? So this is it. Ready? Here it is. This is him winning. What a tap in. Beautiful.
It's great for the game of golf.
He fended off Stuart Sink. It was a pretty good tournament.
Yeah, I know the mechanic was right there as well. Miguel Angel Jimenez.
Yeah.
He was right there as well. There's a couple guys that were in contention there. But
yeah, I mean, it was a good tournament. And it seems like every year the senior events are getting more and more like traction just because the players are a little bit more relatable and
you start to get guys that people like you and me watched growing up playing in them.
That's true. Yeah.
When golf exploded when we were young, golf grew a little bit when we were young. It didn't explode until 2020.
Yeah.
So I imagine in 15 years you're going to see those events be a bit more heavily attended.
And screw Rory McIlroy for saying he's not going to play in them.
Yeah, screw him. That's bad for the game of golf.
Bad for everybody. Yep. All right. Well, that was the show, guys. Thank you so much for joining us here at the Beerly Out of Bounds podcast. We really enjoyed, spending time with you guys. We always do. And make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Be sure we're actually starting a new. I'm actually getting that up tonight. We're going to be on the lookout for our new merch site. You guys will be able to get all kinds of things. I've got this phone case with the Beerly Out of Bounds logo kind of pattern all over there. We've also got beer glasses, pint glasses that you guys can get in hats as well. So be sure to get your and this is going to be way easier to get to you guys. I think it's a 3 to 5 shipping on everything. So
Zane,
be sure to check it out.
Zane, before our qualifier, I want to do the first money match with you.
Okay.
So be on the lookout for that. And when I say money match, I mean I put up $50, you put up $50, stroke play, winner gets $100.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay. I want to do that. Put a little pressure on the both of us. And
it'll have to be before. It'd have to be on like a Sunday because I leave to go. I leave for Dallas. I leave for Frisco. So we'll have to figure that out.
We'll figure it
It
out.
might have to. It might even have to be where we split it up 9-9. That'd be fun.
9-9.
Do like a series. Yeah.
Down 2 going into the second 9.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good. That'd be.
I know I gotta go low today.
That's right. That'd be pretty fun to watch. Anyway. Yep.
But yeah, got a video going up on my channel. Might be rebranding soon. Who knows? But I got a new video
Please
going up on my channel this week. Huh?
No, nothing.
What'd you say?
Nothing. Yeah, I'll tell you later.
You
See you guys. Yeah, see ya. Bye.